Fixture. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, you're good now. You have that same thing happen to you. What happened to me last time?
Well, where you couldn't see what happened. Renee, you couldn't see.
No, when you came back from the intro, it was just you and Cyber staring at the screen with your mute buttons on. So I don't know. Is that what the audience is seeing also?
I hope not.
No, they should have saw the intros.
Oh, because that's when I was like repositioning my constantly flaccid penis, during that quick break. You know what I mean? I had to adjust it, you know.
Well, okay. Well, let's start the show, guys.
Cyber, it's on you, bro.
You didn't play your crackhead video. Your crackhead.
No, I wanted to be more. I wanted to be really professional tonight.
Okay, all right. Yeah. And so you just pick your nose for 30 seconds.
Yeah, there you go. Cyber, would you like to start the intro, sir?
Oh,
please,
okay.
Please.
Okay, everyone, be quiet so I can. All right, so let's get into this, people. Hello out there, great, wonderful YouTube land and all other streaming lands. Welcome to the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. We are live, 2/13, discussing and reviewing and talking about and previewing the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantaumania movie. That's right, people. We're going to be talking about that, getting ready to go see it this upcoming Thursday. In just 3 days, we'll be seeing it all in theaters, and we will have our review for you guys soon after that. But this is just a preview for you guys. We're going to talk a little bit just about kind of our theories and all that kind of good stuff, and we're going to see the trailers and all that kind of good stuff, and then later on, we'll probably end up talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 news trailer. So, yeah. So there we go, people. So, what we got going on there, sir?
What happened, Cyber?
You froze just a bit, Cyber.
I'm here. Question? I said, Jeff, where we at, sir?
Oh, I apologize, sir. I couldn't hear you. Yeah, I didn't see you freeze, but I lost your audio for just a second there and whatnot. Give me 1 second. Which one did you want me to play first? The one that you sent me the link for?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the newest one. Let's do that one.
Okay, I got it. And that is the one that's, let's see, final trailer.
Final trailer, people. Final trailer. So we'll be discussing here. I'm going to show you guys the final trailer here that just came out a week ago. And for some reason, there's two versions of it. I sent the one that's the original one from 7 days ago.
This isn't the screen culture one, is it, Cyber?
Yeah.
It is. Okay, so that's the same one that I found that I was going to play.
Yeah.
Same exact one. I've got them both pulled up on YouTube right now. Hold on.
Because there are two screen culture ones that say the final trailer. Oh. One of them is a little longer than the other.
Yeah, the one I looked at was 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
This one is 3 minutes and 6 seconds. Does that sound right, Cyber?
Correct. Yeah, that's the one that's from a week ago.
All right, here we go.
I just lost so much time.
Scott Lang. If you help me, I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want. You're an Avenger, and you have a daughter, but you've lost a lot of time. Like me, we can help each other with that.
Yeah.
There's something I never told you. What are you so afraid of? It can rewrite existence and shatter timelines. You cannot trust him. Where are we? It's a secret universe beneath ours. With the quantum realm.
This place, it isn't what you think. Down here. Hell, if you leave.
I don't care who this guy is.
Let me make this easy for you.
Oh, did you see that floating head?
That I need
Yeah.
for everything you call a life
Okay.
will end.
And it's not about erasing him completely, not killing him.
I'm sorry, Cassie.
This is all my fault.
Have I killed you before?
There you go. There it is. Love that. That's fucking awesome.
People still need help.
Oh, I love it.
Mm.
What a way to think.
You're an interesting man. I can get you home.
They probably took that their power too.
You may not want her to watch this.
I love
We
it.
had a deal.
You thought you could win.
I don't have to win. We both
Modoc.
have to lose.
I will burn out of
Time. The second chance.
This trailer is fucking awesome. I love this trailer. That's awesome that you found the same one. That this is the same one that I got already, Cyber.
Oh, did you see up there? Look up to the link up at the top. Loki season 2 trailer.
Oh yeah, I see it. I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, but that's not official.
Okay.
That's fan made or whatever you want. And this isn't fan made, but you know that one's like one of these screen crush type ones or whatever. But what I wanted to go to, and honestly, Cyber Renee, just let me know if there's anything else since I've got the control of this. If there's anything else you want me to pull up. But what it was that I really was focused on was this part here. Okay, now who is that? Who is that person? Is that a woman?
I think it's Janet.
That's Janet.
Yeah.
Now look at the circular shapes in it, the hieroglyphics, right?
Yep.
Do you notice what I'm talking about now, Renee? How everything is circular.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reflection of both the 10 rings, right, from Shang-Chi,
Mhm.
and it's also a reflection of the TVA and He Who Remains view of time, all
Okay.
being one big cycle, right?
Yeah, like in a vortex, being swirled up in a vortex. Yeah.
Like that concept that philosopher or whatever and whatnot had from the 70s, right? Remember
Oh, you're talking about golly,
Alan, whatever his name is.
Alan Watts. Alan Watts. Yeah, I know who you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, how he believes that we see time wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because you know what I'm saying? And that's basically that concept. His concept is similar loosely to what exactly how Marvel Studios and the MCU is going to view time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And
So yeah, probably so. Yeah, and I haven't read that part. I think you sent me a link or something to, about that. But anyway, yeah, Alan Watts. He was part of that. You got to remember that's part of the counterculture. So he was coming up with non-mainstream sort of academic ideas, but yeah, he drew a lot off Carl Jung and a lot of those guys too, which Jung really was into all that, about the collective consciousness and all that and whatever. But yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, the whole swirling in and that it's all there's only a now, it's all now.
yes,
but we experience it as in increments.
Cyber, is it possible that maybe he was inspired by Gloria margarita mix, baby? Right, that's right, Gloria. You should sponsor us, baby. Come on now. Got like 17 fucking bottles of this over the corner over here. You know what I mean? I've invested heavily up here, man. Your shit, you know what I mean? So hey.
Get him something because his liver is gonna want your number.
That's right, folks. That's how we fuel our creative process here at the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. We drink Gloria Ranchola, whatever the fuck, Ranchola, or whatever.
Your tongue is in the vortex there. Swirling,
right.
swirling in the eternal now.
My tongue is in the cycle, the snake, or whatever, you know?
Well, you drink it every day, so there you go.
I don't drink it every day. Come on. Don't make me sound like I'm a lush over there, Renee. That's not fair. There's bleeding edge style, maybe, and then there's like full-blown lush style. So I'm not trying to cross into that territory. I'll go to the quantum realm, but I'm not going there, baby. Anyways, I apologize, Cyber, but no. I just wanted to point this out just because I find this very interesting, and I think Cyber does too. How I know for a fact that you and I both, Cyber, we noticed a lot of stuff in these trailers quickly that connected to like heavily to other properties and parts of Phase 4, right? And Phase 3, I think, too. In a way, there might even been aspects, hints there that we maybe even don't even realize now that connected kind of into this direction, right? But Cyber, did you notice that constant repetitiveness of the circular structures in Chronopolis or whatever the hell they're going to call it?
You mean like all the shapes of the building stuff? Yeah, they are all circular. Yeah, so that seems to be a tall tale sign to Kang, most definitely.
Yeah. And the TVA, right?
That I don't see. That I do not see.
Time too. He said that too. He said time's constant, right? Like, you know what I mean? It repeats. It always repeats.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. He said that. That's part of the breakdown. When I did that finale breakdown, it resuscitated a lot of stuff from that stuff that I forgot. But was there anything specifically in this that anybody else wanted me to pull up besides, God, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but Cyber,
pull up the shot there of Wasp flying in towards the end of the trailer.
Towards the end of the trailer?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me when I'm getting close.
I'm seeing if I see it here. Huh?
That's when they're on the ship, I think, towards the final battle.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of it.
Well, anyways, there's a shot where it shows Wasp flying towards, and I don't know if anybody else noticed, but it was the actual original looking Wasp suit.
You thought you could win.
Right, that's it? That right there?
Yeah.
I like that. What is that?
That's right. Cyber's right. That's the original Wasp suit, basically, from the original Avengers.
You thought you could win.
There it is. Oh, shit.
Okay, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
You could win.
There, I got it. Kind of.
There you go.
Oh, man.
You're fine.
There's a zombie. And there's a zombie there, too. Right where the zombie got it.
You thought you could win.
Wait a minute.
There you go.
There you go. That's a good one. That's good. Oh, that's a good one there.
Oh, yeah. You see what happens when I don't smoke the right amount of crack before the show?
You should do a screenshot of that and save that, Jeff. That's a nice picture.
Oh yeah, that, you know what? You're right. That would see.
You could like as a background or something.
Maybe you should become TrueKnowledge for a while, and I'll switch over and I'll become Renee, Lokismom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I being too bossy?
No. You're right. No, you just called me out. You know, I should have got that. You're right. I should have saw that shot. I didn't even freaking see that when I watched the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It happened so they'd all.
No, I mean you hit it right on the right spot in that trailer. Though. That's what I'm saying. That's a really good shot right there.
Yeah, and you know what, folks? Just so you know how much Cyberneticshark will tell you when you do screenshotting for a thumbnail, It's not that shit is not some quick 5-minute thing. It takes a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take a lot of screenshots during these trailers and whatnot to actually catch the good shots. It doesn't just happen in one hit. You know what I'm talking about, Cyber.
Yeah, or you just look for other people that have done it and have it on the internet, and you just steal them.
Yes, you do. You're right. That's right. Right, and we talked about that the other day. We Renee.
Well, yeah, but let's. You said something about the TVA. Now, you have a theory about the TVA, and then Cyber, you have a different one, being connected to this particular realm we're looking at here. What was that? What?
You go first. Go ahead.
I just said I didn't see the connection between the circles and the TVA. That's all I said.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's all I said.
Yeah, but I think that's interesting. I think that's interesting because how is the TVA? I mean, it's got to be connected up somehow because it's Kang, you know. So how is the TVA? Would it be like a little pocket realm somewhere that's just, you know, or is it something else, or is it something actually in this realm they're at in Ant-Man?
Cyber, you want this? You want to take this? Or you want me to get it?
You take it.
The basically the TVA exists on the edge of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like think of how in the finale of Loki season 1, the castle, whatever you want to call it, whatnot, the fortress or whatever that He Who Remains lives in, he's on the edge of time, right? Remember I played those clips during the show. I've been advancing my game, Cyber. Renee will tell you, I had clips and everything for the finale. Right, Renee? I had some nice ones to pull up and whatnot. I had some of He Who Remains talking and whatnot and everything. We broke it down. But you remember how we talked about, Renee, how in the finale of Loki, he mentioned that they just reached that precipice where he was going to come close to not being able to tell what was going to happen anymore. The first time in who knows, centuries, right? He was not going to know what was going to happen next. Well, the TVA exists in a similar type of realm that's right at the edge of time.
Okay.
Right? At the end of it almost.
Well, yeah, because if you look in the if you remember in Loki at the end where Kang's in his lair and the big circular window is behind him, and you can sort of see that's sort of that same motif as what you were showing previously of that door. It's that same swirling path. Yeah.
No, I remember we also showed. Remember, I pulled it up how when Sylvie kills him, He Remains. They frame him in a circular frame, like in a circle. His body is posed as he's dead in a circle, right? And the circle itself was, remember, it was language, or like hieroglyphics, and when you decipher them, they break down to the concept of birth, death, and rebirth.
Okay.
Right? The cycle.
Yeah, the eternal return.
Yes, it all coalesces and correlates. And TVA, remember, it was started by Kang, essentially. He Who Remains, right? And in season 2 of Loki, it's going to be actual Kang that's going to be running the TVA, not He Remains. It's going to be one of the ones that he warned them about. Like, you think I'm evil? Wait till you meet one of my variants. That's who's going to be running the TVA. And then there's also Ravonna Renslayer. Right? Now, she could be in this film. We don't know. Right? It's possible, Cyber.
I'm sure. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, we can see her. I definitely feel we'll see her in Loki season 2, most definitely. And but I mean, possibly we could see a cameo or something in this. Who knows? I mean, very possible.
Well, remember what happened in the finale with her and Miss Minutes, and Miss Minutes might pop up in this film too, because Miss Minutes says to her at one point, to Ravonna, I don't agree with him, but he thinks this is the best way to go about it, and gives her the letter or whatever, and then tells her to read it, and then dips. When she says I think she's talking about the Kang, the other Kang. And I think Miss Minutes has that whole time have been working for that Kang. Not He.
Oh yeah. She's there's a lot more to Miss Minutes than what we know right now.
Oh no, she has autonomy.
Yeah.
Right? Like she's not bound or anything like that and whatnot, I don't think, to the actual TVA. She chooses to be there.
Right.
But either way, no. And then with Ravonna Renslayer, is it in this trailer, Cyber, or is it in one of the other trailers where they show those crystals, the balls or whatever they are? That one scene where they show the crystals.
I think that's another trailer, sir.
Okay, because do you know where I'm going with this?
No.
Oh, well, what did you besides the outfit and whatnot and everything? Was that the main thing you wanted to point out? Was the fact that they did go back to the classic Wasp outfit?
Yeah, that's the thing I noticed the most.
Yeah, you know what? You don't see her much in the trailers, do you?
Mm-mm.
Not the first couple. Nope. This one, I feel they show her the most.
Maybe you know what it was? It was the haircut.
Probably.
No. They edited out all her scenes. Yeah.
Is there any way you can pull up that other trailer we were talking, the other final trailer?
Oh yeah,
the one that came out 3 days ago. It's a little bit different because I looked at it just a little bit ago.
Are you talking about the other one from Screen Culture?
Yes, from Screen. It's the one that's at 2 minutes 46 seconds.
Yeah, I can find it. Hold on 1 second.
You can find it. Hell, find it! Yay!
Yeah, there's actually a really good scene toward the end, or where Kang's sitting in this big chair, this big.
That's the chair he uses to navigate time.
There, yeah, he's sitting in that chair.
And this is the one that's 2 minutes and 46 seconds, I think.
Yes.
I got you. Oops, sorry about that. No, that chair is actually if I remember correctly from the comics, that chair is from Dr. Doom.
Yeah, it looks like a Papa San chair, big old, but it floats.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize this, but in the comics, there actually are a lot of connections between Kang and Doom. So it actually makes a little bit. It makes sense that Kang would be involved in Avengers 5 and 6 with Secret Wars. Since in the comics, basically with Secret Wars, Dr. Doom is the villain, or if you want, he runs the show. But yes, in the comics, basically, Kang finds that chair, that time chair. That's how he the initial version of Kang that initially figures out how to go back in time. That's how he does it. He finds that chair.
Mm-hmm. Have you found it yet?
Yes. I apologize. It's not as easy as you think it is. Just on True Knowledge, everybody has these high expectations to be, folks. I'm gonna file a grievance with the union, the crackhead union.
Not the crackhead union.
For real, you know I'll fuck with them.
Is that anything like the Meth Head Guild?
They'll sell your house and have a $500,000 crack giveaway party.
Now. Where are we?
That's a good shot.
We got comments. We got comments in the comment section.
Oh.
Oh, what happened?
Hold on. Uh-oh. Brett, this is Brett, of course. This is Brett, an old friend of the MCU'S Bleeding Edge from Marvel Plus. And Brett, when do you ever not come in the comment section and always start right off, right, Cyber, with something like, sorry, I'm gonna say this, guys, or like, I'm not like this. So no, Brett, at this point, brother, I'd be surprised if you actually ever just came in and were like, hey, Jeff, hey, Cyber, how you doing? Oh, I noticed we got Renee on. We got Renee now on here. So no. You're good, man. We expect doom and gloom from you. No, I'm just kidding, bro. How you doing? And what up, Darius? How you doing, man? Long time no see. Oh, and Darius, listen, man. Believe me, Cyber's already pissed off about this too. It's not just you. I promise you that by the end of tonight, going into tomorrow, I will put up Cyber and I's reactions to the Ant-Man trailers before the movie actually comes out. I promise. Darius, Cyber's watching out for Darius is out there watching out for your back, man. He's pissed.
Pissed about what?
He was in the comment section like, Jeff, what's up with you? Where's your reactions to the Ant-Man 3 trailers, man?
When was he doing that?
Huh?
When was he doing that?
This was recently, a couple days ago. I'm just messing around, Darius. You know it didn't go down like that, man. You're not like that. He asked me kindly if we had the reactions up yet, whatnot. I was like, don't worry, I'm going to have them out soon, Darius. I will. And then, as usual, Cyber, like I always do with you, this is 5 days later after I said that. There you go, Darius. So don't feel individually like targeted here, all right? Believe me. This is a shared experience with TrueKnowledge, baby. Uh-oh. We've got some tangent level shit, Renee, coming from Brett here. Renee, you want to tackle that? Loki's mom. Renee. Renee.
Loki's mom.
Hey, did you get sucked into the quantum realm?
Hey, I had it on mute, guys. Hang on.
Oh, that's okay. We were worried we thought you got sucked into the quantum realm.
Hang on. I am not a fan of chasing the casual audience that Disney and Marvel have been going after. As a hardcore fan growing up with these characters, I prefer them to be exactly how they were in the comics and only take liberties if absolutely needed. As I said before, Kang in this movie is not the Kang I want. Give me comic book Kang. Well, Darkseid, I would say if that's what you want, then you should raise the money and make your own movie. These properties belong to Marvel. They don't have to stay in canon because they own the product, the original product, and they have say over it. They're sort of like the gods of Marvel, so they have the final say of what they're going to do. So that's my answer to you guys. Thank you very much.
There you go. You like that, Renee? How I served that up for you? There you go.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, stop. Come on. It's funny. It's all for fun. It's all for fun.
Bueller.
I know, I'm sorry, Darkseid. I'm just jerking your chain, Darkseid. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, Brett's a big boy. Believe me, he's got like 7 kids. He can handle it. Only 5, I think. No, Brett, we get where you're coming from, man. And it's just an inside joke, just because Renee and I sometimes on some of the shows and whatnot and everything, and with some of the guests and whatnot, we'll get into it here and there about some of the comic book accuracy, overdoing that part sometimes, but you don't do that. So I get where you're coming from. I know you're not coming from that place. What up, Danny J? What do you think, Cyber? Do you want that one?
Liberties with characters are taken.
I thought we were doing this trailer. Why did we stop in the middle of that trailer?
Oh, I just wanted to address the comments. Can you see the comments?
Yeah, I see that. I don't know, Jeff. Am I the co-host of this show tonight or not? I mean, normally I am on the Sunday show.
I'm going to mute myself.
Dude, Jeff, you have fucked this up like a retard sometimes.
What?
It's supposed to be a Sunday show, so isn't it supposed to be you and Renee making it like one cohesive show?
Oh, I forgot all about that element. It's Monday. I got a traumatic brain injury going on over here. Come on now, cut me some slack.
Okay. Enough with the traumatic brain injury thing.
I know.
Enough, sir. We're gonna bust your balls. Get used to it.
I'm sorry, Renee. I didn't mean to forget to.
Right. I mean, if you to do this, start the whole trailer over, and once we do the trailer, then we can go back and do the comments.
Oh, I just paused this and whatnot and everything real quick because I wanted to just focus on these characters right here, just because I think they look really cool, right? And I'm wondering if maybe they're kind of like the rebels or something, or a faction of whatever of this city that actually is against Kang.
Jeff, can we just look at the trailer all the way through, and then we'll go back like you did before, and then we'll do highlights on it?
So you've been studying the quantum realm. Why didn't you ask me about it?
Tried, Mom. You never wanted to talk about it.
You know how dangerous the quantum realm is. Turn it off. Now!
Dad! Daddy!
Where are we?
You come from above, like him. He will burn the world to find you.
Here it is.
Who? The Conqueror.
You're an interesting man. Scott Lang, I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want.
What's that?
Time. This place, it isn't what you think. It's a cage. But we can help each other. Your reality. Everything you're holding on to, I know how it ends. You want to get out of here. And I need to get out of here. Bring me what I want.
Scott, you cannot trust him. He's a monster.
He can give us a second chance.
This place, it changes you.
You have a chance to be the hero.
What are you so afraid of?
I will take my revenge on those who banished me.
And I will burn them out of time.
We had a deal. I don't care who this guy is. We're gonna go. I'm coming for you. I don't care what he can do. He's not getting out. You think you can beat me? I am Kang! I don't have to win. We both just have to lose. Sorry, Cassie.
No, that's a really good call, Renee. There's a lot in that that's really important.
Yeah, I saw a lot of new stuff in it, so that's why I really wanted us to focus on that one.
Was there anything in there particular that you wanted to point out?
I think, well, the chair for one thing just stood out to me, but there's not a lot different. But I think it brought a little bit more. It focused on the characters, and yeah, I mean, we can see Scott's just. He and Kang are going to have a big mashup at some point. Maybe not in this movie, but maybe down the road. So, yeah, I think that's going to be important. I think Scott Lang or Paul Rudd as Scott Lang Ant-Man is going to. I think he's going to come into the mainstream much like Loki and these other who were like second string guys. Even though he had his own movies, to kind of move up as the central Avenger folks. Avenger-ish, put it that way, if not team members.
Oh, well, Cyber, you tell me. That's the opposite of what I've been hearing. A lot of people think that this is it for him. He's going to die at the end of this movie.
Really? I don't know.
Uh-oh. I echoed there for a minute. It's gone. But no, Cyber, do you know what I'm talking about? Did you hear the rumors? Have you heard about the talk and you saw how that final battle looks?
Yes, I've heard several people say, oh, Scott's gonna die. Scott's gonna die. Scott's gonna die. I've heard it a billion times, and I don't think that's how it's gonna end.
No.
Mm-mm. He's too hot. Paul Rudd's too hot to let go right now.
No, and he's still young. He could, if you think about it, he can play this character for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, what I found really interesting about this and whatnot and everything, if you don't mind me playing this again real quick.
So you've been studying the quantum realm.
I've got the volume turned on so we can talk above it.
Tried, Mom.
Okay.
You never wanted to talk about it.
Oh, that haircut.
You know how dangerous the quantum realm is.
Ah.
Turn it off. Now.
What, the haircut or the quantum realm?
Hopefully, either one.
You see that though? I thought that was important right there. How you could see like how much he's kind of mastered his ability to use the PIM technology compared to like in the beginning. Right from jump, when he got sucked into the quantum realm, he knew and instinctively went ahead and like adjusted his size and whatnot and everything to land safely and all that and whatnot. I don't think Ant-Man from like Captain America: Civil War would have been able to do that.
Well, that's usually what happens when you get seasoned.
And that shot right there, I think, is just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Renee, what do you think about the visual aspect? Cyber, what do you think too of the visual aspect of the shots we've seen of this the quantum realm, or the city itself, or whatever and whatnot?
Yeah, I think it's sort of changed up. I mean, if you think about, you go back to where the other Ant-Man, where he went in the quantum realm, it was really couldn't see it real well. It was kind of like diffused, and they were in a substance, a liquid of some, I don't know what it was, but anyway, here we see it, much more clearly. We can see definition and everything, and how different it is in places, and it's sort of this wild and bizarre, and then you come upon the Kang City, and things didn't begin to become familiar looking. It looks like human-made structures and whatnot. So yeah, and there's something a little bit later on in the trailer where Janet said, Kang says, "This place is not what you think it is," but then Janet says the same thing, I think, in some of the other trailers. This is not the place. This is not what you think it is. This place is dangerous, and and whatever. So I think we're going to see what all she's talking about, or they're talking about. So yeah.
No, I think you're right. That's a really good point that they keep connecting that, them both saying the same things. And I'm going to pull up the other trailer too, where you actually see these crystals that I'm talking about and whatnot. And Cyber, what I wanted to ask you was, do you think it's possible at all, maybe that? And yes, Darius, I agree with you 100%. Thank you for the comment on the whole, hearing will be comic accurate, other than him being played by an amazing actress of color. He will still have his blue face and comic accurate abilities, awesome storyline, motivations. Yeah, I think you're right, Darius. I think they are going to play it really straight-laced and to the point and try to keep it pretty comic book accurate with Kang. Do you think it's possible? I think I was wrong, Cyber, that I don't think that with my premise as to why he's down there and needs Ant-Man, I think I get it more. He does really need his thief skills and whatnot and everything. And there's something that Scott has. It's some kind of ability something he can do that he can't do for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Kang, right? Because I think this Kang's more powerful than Ant-Man is. But Ant-Man has something about him, and I think it links to him not having ever killed him before, him saying that, right? We don't know how many Avengers he's killed, this Kang.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm going to, is just that I'm wondering if this Kang that's down here in the, what would be called in the microverse, the Marvel Comics, there is no quantum realm in the comics. It's called the microverse.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I think this Kang is a Kang variant that survived the multi what do you call it? The multiversal war of Kangs. That He Who Remains won, right? Where he used Goliath or whatever and whatnot and everything to just basically destroy all the other Kangs. I think this is the one Kang that actually is the original Kang the Conqueror and survived that and got away. And he's been hiding this whole time down here in the quantum realm because I think that possibly either He Who Remains is still hunting for him, or it's possible that maybe he if he leaves that city, it's almost like some kind of the outside of time deal where his reality was already eliminated.
So you think that this particular, what we're seeing in Ant-Man is taking place before He Who Remains is killed by Sylvie?
No. Cyber, do you get what I'm saying?
So you're referring to the comic books, and you're referring to the story about the interdimensional war of the Kangs, which I recall hearing about. I have never read them, but I do know what you're talking about. But I get where you're going. You're saying that this is a Kang that has been hanging out, the original Kang, the real deal, the real, Reed Richards' son, and that he's been hiding out here to just the right time to be able to get out of there and basically try to take over the world. And I think that this opportunity, that he's been working on this opportunity for many centuries, trying to get just to the right time to be able to know where and, bring Ant-Man down to use whatever he needs to be able to bring his plan to fruition is basically what you're trying to say, I feel.
Yes, and also in the Loki finale, He Who Remains mentions, right, Renee, the multiversal Kang war. And how he says, "I won it." That's how, and that's when he started the TVA. He started the TVA to stop that ever from happening again, right? Like that was the deal. It was so that that wouldn't occur again. That cycle would not.
Well, I mean, were there other? You said that all the other Kangs were killed. He Who Remains killed them all, and this one particular, the original one, it was able to hide away in the quantum realm or the microverse.
He didn't just kill them all; he erased them.
Okay, but there's going to be multiple Kangs. I mean, there's so they're coming from somewhere. I mean, so did some survive the war and been hiding out,
No.
or are they coming from somewhere, coming from the past or whatever?
In the Loki finale, when He Who Remains was killed, that automatically started a new universe, and the cycle started over again, heading towards another Kang multi.
So all the Kangs that were wiped out were unwiped.
No,
no,
they'll just pop up through the cycle, right? The cycle of time will continue. That first Kang, Nathan Richards, will go in the future or be in the future, and he will then find the Dr. Doom time chair, go back in time, and he will then become Roma. You know what I'm saying? All that will happen, and you'll get all at that point. That will then generate into all the Kang variants that are of all different types.
Okay.
That will all conquer their own universes, their own realities. And then what happens is during that Kang versal war, not just that He Who Remains kills them, he literally eradicates whatever they've conquered. So that's what I'm saying is my concept is that he needs Ant-Man. And the reason why, when you see Ant-Man and you see him like with all those rings above him that he's almost got to fight through or whatever and whatnot, and he separates into all the different other Ant-Mans, right? At that point, he's doing whatever it is that Kang wants. That's him following out on their deal. And for some reason, Kang can't do that himself.
Okay. I got you. I see.
Yeah. So I'm wondering what it is.
I see, sorta.
I'm wondering what it is about Ant-Man that he can do that Kang can't do or whatever, and what it is about Kang that stops him from going and doing this shit. Is what I'm saying. And that's where those crystals come in, is I think that has something to do with what Michelle Pfeiffer's character says when she says that he can rewrite reality. That's all ties in. Okay. And then when he says to him, your whole life or whatever and whatnot, he's telling him, he's basically saying to him, I'm not just going to kill you. I'm going to literally delete you. Like I'm going to delete, I'm going to get rid of your reality.
Okay.
Like they'll never have been you. That's the gist of it. That's what I think. And I'll play that trailer where I'm talking about with those crystals, because they're actually from the comics. And that actually ties into what Darius is talking about. No, they did do a really good job of pulling a lot of stuff from the comics into this.
You're an interesting man, Scott Lang. You're an Avenger. you have a daughter. But
Notice
you've
the
lost a lot of
picture on his
time.
phone is from back in the
Like
day.
We can help each other with that. Who are you? I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want. What's that? Time.
I can rewrite existence and shatter timelines. You cannot trust him.
I don't care who this guy is. I just lost so much. He can give us a second chance.
Let me make this easy for you.
There it is.
Bring me what I need,
Look at the rings.
or everything you call a life will end.
This is all my fault.
You may not want her to watch
I
this.
love that.
We had a deal.
Hold on.
You thought you could win.
I don't have to win. We both just have to lose.
I love it.
I'm sorry, Cassie.
I swear to God, that gave me chills. It really did. Cyber, do you get that same vibe there towards the end of that Doctor Strange Multiverse and the Madness vibe, kind of?
I guess a little bit. I can see where you're talking about there. I definitely feel that it'll tie in into to this film. Most
No,
definitely.
I just think it's weird looking. You know what I mean? Like, you got people splitting apart into different, you got Ant-Man splitting into different slivers, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah, but it is the quantum realm. So if you remember, like in the first Ant-Man, when Scott goes to the quantum realm, like very bizarre things happen to him while he's in there. If you remember correctly, at the very end of the film, before he comes back after getting back from the quantum realm. So I mean, it's not. If you're familiar with that, I feel that at the same time you're like, oh, okay, that's the quantum realm. That's just how it is.
Yeah, we're just seeing like an actual like civilized version of it. Right? Like what would actually happen if you actually had a society in it, I guess, right? And and there is the one other trailer for me to play too, the first trailer, the first actual real trailer. But I don't know, how I don't know how you feel about it, Renee, and you, Cyber, but I'm trying to temper my expectations right now with things after phase 4. I am a little bit. But at the same time, I won't lie. I can't help it. I've already put this out there on like TikTok and whatnot earlier today. I can't help but be really freaking excited about this movie based off these trailers. What do you think, Renee?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think, but both parts. I think we've been burned a little bit here in the last year or so, and but this one looks like it's got all the cylinders moving on. I mean, and all familiar characters. I mean, we've got Hank, Pym, and Janet, and Wasp Woman, and Cassie, and everything. Everybody come back, and of course Paul Rudd. So yeah, so and in a way that's sort of like how Doctor Strange was. I think it had that extra oomph because it had the and Spider-Man too, because it had that little extra familiarity to it. Whereas I think Shang-Chi and Eternals were all new stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's yeah. If it's not a good movie, I'm just gonna kick Marvel's butt.
Oh, I was gonna say, if it's not good, are you gonna cut your hair just like Wasp?
It's already that short, so.
Oh, you already
I would have to shave my head if.
Oh, okay. You have to go GIG.
I would have to go with Condon.
Oh, Wakanda. Oh, I like that.
You know, like with the ladies with the bald heads.
Oh, you know what? I could definitely see you in real life as a actual what's it called? Cyber Dalmage or whatever. Dormelage. That's what we need, Renee. We need to. You should dress up as a Dormelage, and we'll have that.
It's Dory Majai.
I was gonna say a Dormelage. That sounds something French.
I thought it was Dormelage. I don't fucking know. Hey, just as I can speak Tuscan doesn't mean I understand.
It sounded really impressive, whatever it was.
There you go, baby. True knowledge. I'm sorry, Cyber. Thank you for pronouncing it correctly for me, brother. Oh, that's funny. I'm probably get a copyright strike for us, probably for fucking racial insensitivity and whatnot for saying Dermalage or whatever, pronouncing it incorrectly. I'll get a YouTube strike. But no, Cyber, what do you think? Are you tempering your expectations? Are you purposely trying to like internally temper your expectations for the film? Because these trailers are fucking awesome.
No, I'm not particularly doing that. It's more of, you know, I'm hoping that they do the other two films justice is my thought process. With, you know, after Phase 4, you know, with, you know, Wakanda Forever, which basically should have been called Predator Forever, and Power Ranger Forever, and or, you know, with Thor: Love and Thunder, and then, you know, Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, that, and then the slate of, you know, most of the MCU shows they made last year, except for the exceptions like Werewolf by Night. You know, most of them, you know, that whole phase just was really utterly kind of a, you know, a big rebuilding phase that just, you know, they really took a giant steaming dump on. And, you know, that they did such a horrible job with several of the films, but at the same time, I still have faith in Marvel that they will come back. And I mean, like I was saying before, when the first trailer for this came out, even the teaser, I felt like a classic Marvel film finally was returning. It felt like the classic Marvel trailers I had seen in the past. So this is the first trailer I've seen in the last year that I actually felt like was Marvel again. So I have high expectations going into it that, you know, it's going to be better than the first two. But at the same time, if it's not, as long as it's equal to those two films, I'll be fine with it.
I hear you.
I agree. That's well put, Cyber.
No, go ahead, Renee.
No, I said it was well. What Cyber said was well put. Yeah, I like that.
No, and I was wondering if we should just come up with our own category, like our own phase, just for Love and Thunder. You know, instead of like, you know, like Phase 4C or B, so we can just categorize it, because it is the worst film in the MCU ever. It's worse than
Thor 4.
Love and Thunder. It is. It's the worst Marvel movie ever made.
I feel that Wakanda was.
It's close. I think Love and Thunder was worse than Wakanda Forever, only because Wakanda Forever had the Predator.
I found Wakanda just mediocre. It wasn't horrible. You know, it was entertaining and I enjoyed it for what it was. But it certainly was not the first movie. I mean, it pales compared to the first Black Panther. Yeah, I would probably have to agree. If we can, you know, excise all the Sony weird whatever they're doing over there with the Spider-Man subset. Yeah, I would say that, yeah, Love and Thunder stinks on ice.
Would you agree with me, at least? Do you agree? Cyber doesn't agree, Renee. Do you think Love and Thunder is the worst Marvel film ever?
Yeah, that's what I said. No, not the worst one ever. But
no, MCU.
Yeah.
MCU.
No, well, I mean, like I said, if you take out some of the other stuff they've done, like, you know, Fantastic Four, stuff like that, yeah. But yeah, other than that, if we're talking about within this phase thing that we're talking about, yeah, of the phase films, yeah, that's the worst one.
It is, most definitely. What do you call it? Dark World is 5 times better than Love and Thunder.
Absolutely. But you're right, much better movie, yeah.
Wakanda Forever is garbage. It sucks. It really does.
See, the reason why I don't think Love and Thunder is the worst is simply the fact that it had a lot of good comedy still in it. From Thor being de-dressed to Russell Crowe's performance as Zeus was perfection to, you know, a lot of the one-liners throughout that film, the whole Guardians of the Galaxy beginning, and that stupid battle at the beginning that was absolutely freaking hilarious. There was just too much comedy in it versus whereas Wakanda took so many elements that just did not fit, especially with the designs and looks of certain things of the film. It didn't fit into the MCU's aesthetic as Love and Thunder did. Love and Thunder, at least, even though it was written really poorly and it just had too much, you know, of that Taika's writing into it a little bit and just that ideology, it still was funny though. Whereas Wakanda, there was really no funny moments really in it. There was a couple when Baku did a few things, and then Suri and what's her name had a couple funny lines. But other than that, they just tried to make it too serious because of the fact that Chadwick Boseman passed away. And you know, you could have kept that really classy and had it very simple, and then bring yourself to another, you know, basically just what the first Black Panther did and put it there. So because of how poorly Wakanda was compared to the first Black Panther, I don't feel how Thor Love and Thunder was to the other three Thor films was really any worse than the other three Thor films, whereas Black Panther 1 was so freaking phenomenal. They put out that garbage of a sequel. That's why I put it down as the worst of the MCU.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense because of the steep drop off from film to film.
Yeah, I think what you said, the somber, I think that you're right, the somber attitude or they tried to make it too dignified or something. They didn't. Yeah, I see where you're, because in some ways that was part of the first Black Panther. It was not a lot of comedy in that one either, but yeah. So I see where you're going with that. Yeah, well put.
No, you know what? And honestly, when you think about it, that tie into the Thor thing because, right? That's one of the conversations we've been having in the fandom for years about is the drop off with Thor, how we had that unevenness with the Dark World where you had the first Thor and then you had Ragnarok, right? But now after fucking Love and Thunder, that taints Ragnarok. I can't help it, but it does.
Yeah.
It does. It takes something away from it in a way to me. It's still a great film, but they gave Taika too much free reign. I Love and Thunder.
Yeah, and I'll go back. It suffered by the fact that Tom Hiddleston was not in the movie. I mean, that's the Thor Loki. That's the relationship. That's where all the serious emotions are at. Not with him and his Jane Fonda, whatever, Jodie Foster, whoever she was. Yeah, so that affected it a great deal. And you're right. I mean, Taika just was, I don't know. He just made a huge mess out of it. And being Taika, the fact that he is a very good film director, very original, very, very out there. That for me, it's kind of like how Cyber's talking about how between the two Panther films, how the Wakanda was an insult to the other one. I think Taika was just an insult to what he did to Ragnarok. I mean, it was just totally undid it. And so.
No, but Cyber, didn't he say something didn't he say that he did it intentionally or something like that? Openly? That he wanted to make his own film, whether people liked it or not?
Yeah, he said certain things like that to that respect in interviews and stuff like that. And I mean, even Chris Hemsworth himself, recently within the last several months since Thor: Love and Thunder came out, he said that he doesn't really want to work with Taika again after how Thor: Love and Thunder played out. I mean, he said even playing Thor at this point, even though he loves playing the character, if they don't really grasp a really good idea for continuous, because after what Taika did, totally screwed the character really bad, he needs something that's gonna re-dignify that character for him to come back to play Thor again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, because he really insulted the character. He insulted Hemsworth and the character. Whereas at least in Black Panther, you say if there's a redeeming thing over there, they didn't insult the characters over there. They might have made them stiff, might have made them wooden and whatever, but they didn't insult them.
No, you got to give Hemsworth credit because he's the first actor ever or actress ever in the history that I can think of the MCU that's ever actually called them out, said something like that and whatnot, the way he said it. Right?
Well, good for him. Yeah, good for him.
Did you just call him an actress?
No, I said he's the only actor or actress I can think of in the MCU that's ever come out and said anything like that. Right?
Oh, okay. Okay. You're saying other people. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's people who bitched, right? Like, what's his name from the first Hulk film? Edward Norton bitched and whatnot. Everything had a problem and all that. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like that, like Hemsworth. You know
no,
I mean?
He's defending his character. He's defending his work and everything that he's put into that.
No, this wasn't about money.
It's not sour grapes. See, I think Hemsworth was right on to call it out. You know.
No,
he's part of that.
Cyber, don't you think that's interesting? How much of a flip that must have been for him, for Chris Hemsworth, because he praised Taika for bringing the character back in Ragnarok and whatnot and everything, and really like had a lot of good things to say about him and what the direction of the film and what it did, how it reinvigorated his desire to play Thor.
Yeah, he was. I remember when Ragnarok came out and he did press circuits and stuff like that. He was very praiseworthy of Taika. I mean, everyone was, very praiseworthy of Taika. And, unfortunately, sometimes what happens is these really creative and awesome directors, they get too big of a head after they've had a very successful film. And, they give them free reign and they take it overboard. And usually that ends up, killing the movie their next movie that they're doing because they put too much of their creativity in it and not having any restraint. And then at the same time, because of their ego has really built up because of how successful they did with a previous film, they think that they can do no wrong. And, unfortunately for Taika, I don't know if it was just, a mixture of both and like just a mixture of some people pushing certain ideas into it too as well with him. So I mean it wasn't completely him that put that movie together. There was other people speaking that they've talked about in interviews and stuff like that and saying that Disney did have quite a bit of talking to saying how they make the movie too. So I think it was a mixture of several things that just ended up making Love and Thunder kind of that mess that it is.
They need to get Disney. They need to get Disney out of it. I mean, I know they're stuck with them, financially, but creatively they need to figure out a way to get. And maybe that's what Iger will help them do, and get. So let Marvel be Marvel. Let them run their product. They know what they're doing, and they're not. They're not right-wing Nazis or anything over at Marvel either. They're not going to make, socially horrible movies or anything like that. So, just trust them and let them do their job.
No, and Renee, what I was going to ask you was, doesn't this kind of feed into how we've talked about recently on the Sunday shows, how we don't really know what the balance is or what the power structure is and whatnot in terms of how much how much push or pull Disney has at the end of the day when it comes to the finished product of these films, right? We don't know that dichotomy. We have no way of knowing. Right? All we know is rumors. So, but you got to figure that they have to have an influence.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they. Yeah, I mean, you can see it, like you say, in Thor 4. You can see it. I mean, it's just so Disney-fied. It's just that's it just putrid. So much of it. I mean, I could just go through it and just point it out to you. And oh well, I won't go into it. It's a whole thing between the whole Disney ethos, which really it goes way on back. It's not just what's going on, everything in the whatever you want to call it, social justice warriorism or whatever you want to call it. They've always been like that. I mean, it's always been this. They pander to whatever they figure is going
Renee,
to bring
I
in
never heard this.
the money.
What is this? Are you saying that Disney actually uses social justice warrior type shit and whatnot and panders and all that stuff? Wow.
Well, yeah, so Marvel does too, to a degree.
Ooh.
I mean, they've always they've always put in their little social things and in the comics and whatnot, and also in the movies. But Disney, yeah, it's just so because it's not, at least in Marvel, it's honest. It's liberals writing scripts and they're being honest about their liberalism. Over at Disney, it's a pandering. They're actually looking at numbers and saying, okay, if we put this in this movie, then we're going to be able to sell this amount of product to that customer base. That's what I hate.
Well, I tried to tell one of our guests that one time and whatnot and everything, and he was so pissed off about me saying that and whatnot and rejected it that we lost it because of it.
Yeah,
that was
I don't have I don't have a problem with social justice warrior causes. I don't like it when it's being forced and it's being pandered and it's just they don't mean it. That's Disney looks at dollar signs. That's their main thing. Before their social justice conscience, they look at the money.
I agree.
So there you go.
I agree. Cyber, would you say that you would agree with that too? I think we're all on the same page with that. It doesn't matter what your politics are with that kind of stuff and whatnot. I think that they do overall care about the bottom line more than they do about their ideologies.
Some people I would agree don't, and then others I would say that their political thoughts are more important to them than the underlying line. So I would say 50-50 on it.
Okay. Hey, you know what? 50-50 is better than nothing.
Yep.
Right? Last time I checked. Especially if you like crack and you're into crack, zero crack versus 50-50 crack is much better or much different. But no,
how about 50% crack, 50% crank?
I don't know if I would want to try that, to be honest with you. I mean, considering I get panic attacks from time to time. I don't know I can only imagine what kind of panic attack I might receive from that combination, Renee. But that's a good tip, though. I appreciate that advice. I'll consider it for the future. As a little, maybe I'll react.
I love Breaking Bad, so I wanted to push crystal meth. So.
Oh, if you want to switch over to crystal meth instead of crack as our main.
No, just the concept of crystal meth. I would never take it.
Oh, okay.
No, I can go to a doctor and get OxyContin. I'm joking, folks. I've never take drugs.
Oh my God. I forget
if my parole officer is listening.
Alan or somebody the other night on the 10K special, they gave me an idea of somewhere else where I could get good humor, a TV show that's really funny that I could find really good intros from and whatnot. I just can't remember which one it was. But,
oh wow, that's really helpful, Jeff.
Yeah. And hats off to Alan who stuck it with me and was loyal to me and whatnot when we rocked out our 5-hour-long live stream.
Yes. I think you're still jet lagged from that, both of you.
5 hours, baby. Alan was drunk as shit.
I heard. Alan got loosened up.
Yeah, Cyber was loving it. He was like talking. He was saying things that weren't even a part of the conversation. It was fabulous. Cyber loves that kind of stuff. That's his favorite.
I can see it on his face how much he loves it.
Oh yeah, I love it so much.
Yeah,
it's my favorite.
Yeah, he loves when people just drop random comments during the conversation that have nothing to fucking do with it at all. Like, yeah, hey, okay. But no, hats up to Ellen though. That was great. But but getting back on point, Cyber and Renee, I wanted to ask you both. I don't know about how you feel about it, but Cyber, that final scene that they show, the more I see it, the more this is what that gets me so pumped for the movie. The fact that they decide to have them go hand to hand, of all things, for those characters to go hand to hand like that, as like I'm assuming that's got to be the final battle, right? In that ship or whatever and whatnot, where they all end up in. I think all of them kind of coalesce there by the end. After he fights, he goes into giant man mode and he fights those Kang ships and shit. When they go square off hand to hand, when Kang kicks him in the face, you can see the boot hitting the fucking visor of Ant-Man's visor for a second right before it goes out of the way. That is so like suspenseful to me. And to see Paul Rudd's Ant-Man with that excruciating look on his face.
Oh yeah.
When he delivers that line and says, you know, we just have to both lose. It's like, it's so against his character in the first 2 Ant-Man films.
Mm-hmm. It shows Paul Rudd's great range. I think he's an underrated actor. Even though he's very popular, you know, done a ton of movies, and you know everybody loves him. I think they haven't seen, but because of his cuteness and everything, I don't think they realize what a good actor he is. Very good.
Now, what do you think, Cyber? I mean, he's sitting here, he's doing scenes here with Jonathan Majors, who we know is basically like, I mean, he's being looked at as he gets the highest praise you could possibly get out there.
Yep. So what's the question?
That final battle, what do you think of it? The fact that they go hand in hand like that and everything and whatnot, and how suspenseful it is?
I mean, the whole trailer gets me psyched. That final battle it's all of it's equal to me on excitement for seeing the film. I mean, it's a good sequence. It looks interesting. It does look like it's gonna be interesting to see what actually does inspire, what happens, like what actually, you know, transpires and goes on and what actually happens. But at the same time, I mean, I don't think I'm like, that sequence didn't excite me more than the other sequences. Like I said, I feel it's all down the line. The whole trailer just really excites me for the film, because I absolutely just loved Ant-Man the character. Ant-Man the character is so much fun, and Paul Rudd did a great job of bringing that to life and giving us this great version of Scott Lang. You know, because I remember at first when I found out it wasn't going to be Hank Pym playing Ant-Man, they were going to have Scott Lang version. At first I was kind of disappointed, but then after seeing Paul Rudd bring this character to life and giving us this really successful character, I was very happy they decided to go with the Scott Lang character, and I don't see anybody else playing Scott Lang besides Paul Rudd. And, you know, Paul Rudd being in his early 50s, yeah, he's still got lots of years he can go playing the character. And I think he doesn't get, you know, recognition for how good of an actor he is sometimes, because he is so good looking still, and how he doesn't really age, and he you know, keeps a good looking appearance and everything. And I think there's a lot of times that he has said himself in interviews and stuff like that, like he doesn't see himself as a sex symbol. He sees himself as just himself. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people like him too, is because he's just that down to earth. Like, he doesn't allow being a celebrity that he has become be anything a part of him. He still is just him. He's the actor he's been since he started in his very first feature film back in the, you know, early 90s when he did Halloween 5 or 6. You know, he's just a really good actor. So him alone, just seeing Michael Douglas, seeing Michelle Pfeiffer, seeing Jonathan Majors in this trailer, it could be about 2 unicorns going to the park or something, and I still would want to watch it because of those actors. That's just how magnificent this film looks. Even if it wasn't Marvel Ant-Man, it would still just seem like a great film because they have these great actors in them too. So it's a mixture of it all. And I mean, that sequence, like I said, the battle sequence looks really fun. It looks like it's going to be really awesome. But like I was saying, I feel it's all the same excitement for me, the whole trailer.
Renee, do you want to bounce off that?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I think Cyber puts it, you know, right on, spot on. I mean, yeah, the excitement's definitely there. I feel it. I feel like a hope, you know, Hope Van Dyne is in the movie, so I feel the hope for what Marvel's gonna maybe get back to being. It said, I think we were looking at some of the little tags on the screen, like the saga begins. You know, okay. Take a deep breath. Now we're going to start the saga. We're going to start that saga that we've been, you know, hoping they're going to start. Okay, when all this stuff is going to start tying together. And I think hopefully this is going to be it. And certainly, I mean, they're going to leap in the next couple of weeks into Secret Invasion, is it? the secret, and also Loki too. So hopefully some of this will start to tie in, and this multiverse will start to make sense.
Well, yeah. I mean, overall, basically, that's where kind of like I feel, and Cyber, if you want to jump in on this too, that's where I feel all these connections come into place. I feel like Marvel did do a good job. I think we're going to get this when we see the film. We're going to see it flushed out, the setup that they did connect Shang-Chi into this film, right? Maybe I can't, it's hard for me to look back at Shang-Chi, remember all the aspects, but like Cyber said, the energy, the blue energy, right? With Simon Liu's Shang-Chi when he had control of the rings, right? Against the Mandarin and whatnot versus his power. The beacon, right? Cyber, the beacon there. Was that the mid-credit scene or whatever with Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner and everything and whatnot, right? And Wong.
Yeah, that was the first post-credit scene.
That right there, right? That could have something to do with Kang. It's possible.
Honestly, I think that it's all going to point to Kang, the whole Shang-Chi thing. I think that's their plan. I think that's what Marvel is doing, is they're going to connect it all together. Because if you remember in that sequence, in that little post-credit scene, Wong says that these are more ancient than the Infinity Stones. So if you think about it, because Kang is all the Time Master, he has been around for times and times and times, even though he's from the future. So hence, he could be older than time if he wanted to, because he has that ability. So hence, that's something that is even more ancient than the Infinity Stones would be something for somebody that has that ability to be able to do that. So I think that was kind of the first sign when they showed that in Shang-Chi of Kang coming, even before Loki, right around after Loki season 1 had come out, that it's all interconnected.
Yes, most definitely. And now this is the reason I pulled this up real quick and whatnot and everything is simply because get rid of it. Hats off to comicbook.com. MCU theory, how Shang-Chi's 10 rings and Miss Marvel's bangle connect to Kang and Avengers Secret Wars. And basically, the reason I wanted to pull this up was simply the fact that the 10 rings, I believe, if I remember correctly from Miss Marvel, and you guys can back me up on this if I'm right or not, but don't they say in the Miss Marvel series, don't they flush out that the bangle originally was found associated with the 10 rings?
I don't remember that specifically in the series. But also, it's been a while since I watched it, so I'll have to go back and rewatch and see if that's there. But I don't recall that them saying that. I do remember them saying that it was something old and ancient, and that it had been around, and that it appeared to them, and they found it. So I'm assuming it has to be, interconnected to probably the rings.
Well, they do mention right here, the running theory here is that Kang tech scene in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantaumania has the pointed function generating some blue energy, right, Cyber? That blue energy again that keeps Kang's world and army safe from interdimensional travel or changes to time and or reality as Kang hops from one dimension to another, conquering and eradicating. And the eradicating, Renee, indicates to what I was talking about with He Who Remains. How he would just literally just like, not kill, but like erase the other Kangs. If that power works for Kang, it can work for the heroes too. I didn't think about this, but the energy that comes off the bangle in Miss Marvel is blue. Right? It is. It's the same energy as the Shang-Chi rings. And as the Kang power. So, and here that right here, they're showing that scene. You can see it. The rings of power and protection. The guess is whoever is with Shang-Chi or Miss Marvel at the time, Kang caused a mass incursion of realities, and he forged his battle world. Will be kept alive and safe through the power of the 10 rings and the bangle. Additional speculation that these objects, possibly unlike them or revealed later, will be like Infinity Stones, like you were saying, Cyber, and have Kang seeking them out to harness their power after the events of Quantaumania unfold. Cyber, what you're talking about, I think, is really important. You're right, I think. The 10 rings do predispose or predate the Infinity Stones, which makes you wonder if it's possible that essentially this energy or whatever, however it's generated or whatever, the 10 rings themselves, that whatever, however it was constructed, it was before the what do you call it? The Celestials.
What about the Celestials?
It would have been before the Celestials, before the creation of the Celestials.
Yes. I mean, if it has to do with Kang, it's all going to be for everything, because Kang, like we said, is time. So, because he could go back in time before these things were created and recreate things. So I think that's what we're going to end up finding out eventually, probably, is that Kang at some point went through the timeline and, went before the Infinity Stones were created, before other things were created, and created the bangle, created the rings, and he created he created them for him to be able to basically take over the universe, or basically, I think, is what probably the original concept was, that he created all these things so that he could have infinite power and be able to take over and do whatever his plan was. And then something probably ended up happening, causing things to get misconstrued or set out other places where he lost them somehow, and other people ended up finding them and using them for good versus actually using them for bad. And so I think that's kind of what'll probably go on. Will probably something similar to that, I feel, is probably what we'll end up seeing.
Renee, I apologize. I was wrong. I want to just clarify really quick about Kang's chair. I got it mixed up. It's a variant of Kang, Ironheart. Not Ironheart. Where the hell did that come from? I'm sorry. Jesus, folks, please. Can he who remains? Can you please eradicate any Ironheart, even the phrase from my brain? I'm sorry about that.
What happened when Doctor Strange did that? So.
Oh, that's right. No. No, but Kang's time chair doesn't come from Doctor Doom. I'm thinking of Iron Lad. The good Kang variant, the young Kang variant, that actually is a hero and is the leader of the Young Avengers. He gets his technology from Doctor Doom, or a Doombot in the future. Kang's time chair is actually constructed by, as it says right here, by Kang the Conqueror. He builds it, right? The actual original, like Cyber mentioned, the Reed Richards relative, that Kang, the original Kang. Nathan Richards and whatnot from the future, from the year, from the whatever, year or generation or decade it is or whatever, or century or whatever that he's from, the utopia he's from. Yeah, he decides to become the Kang the Conqueror because where he lives, in the world, he gets to a point where there is no conflict anymore. It's pure utopia. All people do in his society is entertain themselves and do positive things all day long and consume things that they enjoy. There is nothing else to do. Like, that's it. That's his reality. That's the future that he lives in. And he rebels against it. Like, it's too boring for him. So he actually has a lot going on. He ain't like Thanos. He's a complicated figure. But here, let me play this last Ant-Man trailer.
Hey, Jeff, what? Before you start that, what you said, that he was bored, but he essentially in paradise. What we would envision as paradise.
Yes, because he was so
and he becomes bored by it. Now that in some ways that's sort of an analogous to the story of Lucifer, who was all, they were here, the angels, were living in perfection, but Lucifer got bored with it and he rebelled. So yeah, I think that's just interesting that you just brought that up. Anyway,
it's an interesting contrast, but take into consideration though that with the original Kang, It's, for him, what it really is more about is that he's a creative type. He's a Reed Richards type. He likes to build things and create things. He is competitive.
Well, he creates his own heaven. He creates his own paradise, and then rebels against it.
Well, no, that's just how his society evolves. That's how the future evolves, and that's where he ends up.
So he does not create the paradise that.
No.
Okay. All right.
No. He basically rebels against it. He decides to travel in time in order to change, I guess, almost the past, so that things don't go that way.
Okay.
And then that evolves into him wanting to conquer shit, and then he becomes Roma Tut, right? And he rules Egypt at one point for a long time, right? He shows up with Egypt with technology from the future, and becomes like a god, of course.
What if? Yeah. What if Spartacus had a Piper Cub or something?
Oh yeah, with a laser gun and shit. With people that have never even seen like a paperclip.
Right. Oh yeah. Good when you come back with a paper clip and barter that for all the gold.
Yeah. That's right. It'd be like if me and Cyber showed up in the same identical hat and T-shirt like tonight, we'd be like gods.
That's right. Oh my God, the gods of one star.
Time travel. Yep. I don't know. We would. I wouldn't want I wouldn't want the title Rob Tut. I want something better than that, Cyber. But
rum and tonic.
How about Cyber and Jeff?
Yeah, Cyber and Jeff. That flows. That flows almost as well as Rizzle.
How about Jeff and Cyber?
Yeah, you know what? No, that has a ring to it. I like that. No.
I'm going to start a war.
I always prefer to be in the rear of the man. You know what I mean?
So Cyber Jeff.
Yeah. Ever since my night with She-Hulk, I've been finding myself enjoying the secondary rear position.
The beast with two backs.
Yeah. But no, but what I wanted to ask y'all was about the Cassie angle, right? And I think this is important. Renee, she's a feature. You can see in the trailer, she gets a lot of screen time, a lot more than the Wasp. In that really good trailer that Cyber, pointed out, whatnot, everything, you see a lot of her. You see her actually using this. I think those are the pin powers again, right? She's wearing like a version of, I think, of the Wasp suit, basically, kind of, but without some of the gimmicks. She doesn't have lasers or whatever or any of that shit.
Yeah. You're right. A lot of Michelle Pfeiffer in the trailers. So yeah, I think she's going to play a very key part in it. I'm thinking maybe she and Kang.
No, I'm thinking Cassie.
May have I think when Janet before, I think she and Kang may have hooked up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's, I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I mean, I can see how she'd be low down there, and she probably might want to do Kang as opposed to like some of those weird looking fucking.
Yeah, I mean, she was down there a long time.
Yeah, I mean, if I was her, I would pick Kang over Bill Murray.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, and Bill Murray's in the movie too, folks.
Yeah, we didn't see him. We saw him. We didn't really see him in these other these later trailers. We saw him in the beginning. That's interesting.
I think he's even a comic book accurate character in the film. I just can't remember his name, but I think they actually gave him he is a character from the comics.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the head of one of the the neighboring cities or whatever that surrounds Kang City. That area or whatever that he has, some of the bubble is a lot more expansive than what we see in Ant-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's large. But no, what I wanted to ask you today was Cassie Lang, the daughter, right? And the fact that we discussed this before, the fact that there's this conversation between Kang and Ant-Man of the agreement, the deal, right? You lost time, so have I.
Yeah, it seems like something happened during that time while the blip, as it were. I don't know if maybe Cassie we see her coming out of a jail cell in one clip, so I don't know if she got in trouble. If something happened, maybe she has died. Who knows? Maybe that's happened, and that's what Scott's trying to you know, get back, try to correct whatever happened that causes whatever happens to Cassie. So I don't know. It's going by the trailer. You kind of want to look at the trailers and sort of see that as the chronology of it, how it's going. But you know, it could be a lot of that stuff comes in different parts of the movie, and once we see the movie, it kind of stitches it together better. But yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously something happened to Cassie, so we'll see what that is. What Scott needs to get time back to correct.
Well, I mean, when she gets arrested and whatnot and everything, at some point you see her wearing a T-shirt that has to do with being anti-global warming.
Okay, yeah, she may be in one of those rebel, like what was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the rebel, those weird whoever they were, rebel group or
the Flag Smashers.
Yes, could be something like, not necessarily them, but something like that, you know.
Oh, that makes sense. I didn't think about that, Cyber. It would make sense that there would be other groups like the Flag Smashers and whatnot and everything, that because of the blip and whatnot and everything, and that whole deal that we got into with Falcon and the Winter Soldier and all that, where you'd have other groups that would have radical elements.
Oh, there always be radicals with other elements in anything and everything, not just in the Marvel Universe, but in any movie, any series, any TV series. I mean, if you're thinking of Greta Grunberg or whatever the frick her name is,
13-year-old.
Okay, that's
how to run the show.
Well, she's 19 actually. She looks like she's 13, but she's 19. But yeah, I get where you're going with that. But yeah, maybe she might be. I don't know. She could be. Who knows? There could be a new element that they're putting into the MCU, kind of like what they did with the original X-Men films, where there's people protesting about the mutant gene or being a mutant, and people wanted to become normal again or something like that. Maybe there's something like that going on in the MCU now. Who knows? That, because mutants are becoming more predominant into the MCU now, that they're bringing in the X-Men, they're bringing in all those mutants. Maybe there's something that they'll bring that type of flavor into. Who knows? It could be anything. It could be like a anti-Thanos thing, or it could be an anti-something thing. You know what I mean? I mean, it could really be anything. It's the MCU. They could come up with some kind of crazy kind of like activism of some sort, which would be funny. But yeah, definitely that could be something like that.
Maybe it could be the group that's against Ironheart. They want to know who the fuck wanted Ironheart in the MCU, and they're pissed.
No, or it could be anti-Power Rangers and anti-Predator too, as well.
Listen, if you don't like the Predator, then we can't be friends. I'm sorry, but the Predator is too dope.
Well, I'm saying just the Predator in Wakanda Forever, sir. So I'm not talking about actual Predator from 1987 with the great Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's just one of the more impressive aspects of Ironheart, ensuring that they're able to put together collaborations like that between the Power Rangers and the Predator.
Go back to smoking your crack, sir.
I thought that was just a way of expressing their abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, that they can, like go into the multiverse.
She-Hulk really fucked you up, bro.
I mean,
oh my gosh, Cyber said fuck.
I mean, how do you get the Predator to join the MCU, man? Seriously. Like
therapy, sir. Therapy.
I'm telling you. When I saw that shit, I was like, holy fuck. That's some real shit. Now, if they had if they had the Predator and the Eternals, that might have helped Chloe Zhao out a little bit.
Yeah, I could see the Predator and the Eternals. That would have been really good. He's just come in, just wipe them all out.
I can see the Predator and anything.
Rip their spines out.
And hey, why would you want to Why would you want to assume the Predator's gender like that, Renee? Come on now. We don't like that shit over here on the Bleeding Edge. That assumed gender shit.
Well, I didn't see any boobies on him, so I'm assuming Predator's as a male.
Well, next time you better ask the Predator what his pronouns is, or whatever. She, he, or whatever.
Well, yeah, it could be. I mean, we don't know like what his planet's like. So there may be like 4 or 5 sexes. They may have to do like quadruples just to produce one baby. So
there you go.
There you
go.
Don't judge. Hey, don't judge people.
Nope. Whoever knew that the predators are
And
actually.
I apologize to Predator if indeed he is a linker
Yeah,
instead of a he.
Who knew that the predators were big supporters of the LGBT community?
I think he'd be a really good ball player, don't you? He really look good out there. I think he'd be I mean, man, he could hit that thing out of the park.
The predator is male. I just want to be clear here. I know for a fact everybody does. I think that the predator is male.
I stole that bit from Will Ferrell. I'm sorry. No, it's a Will Ferrell bit where he's playing this some. Actually, he's doing a character, Harry Carey, who's probably does a baseball announcer for the Cubs.
Yeah.
And he was really kind of so Will Ferrell did his character, and he does one where
maybe the moose made a barbecue spare ribs.
There you go, Cybernetics. And he actually does the thing where he asks this quick. He goes, "Hey, do y'all think that the Predator make a good ball player?"
I know what you're talking about. I do. That's funny.
I love Will Ferrell. I just said Will Ferrell, and he's worked with Paul Rudd a lot. So and all those guys, they kind of have that like a little gang. Will Ferrell and Judd Apatow and all those guys make those movies.
Really? Oh well, you know what? Renee, I think you actually missed this last time. I think this is really interesting. Would make some more dirty faces and dirty looks and shit. Like that, I could give it a 6.5.
She's got a whole series to give. Tons of dirty faces coming up.
Well, we've only gotten 17,000 different scowls so far. So I mean,
I mean, I will give it. If I had to score it, it'd be a 5 for me because, like I said, it's had its moments, but for the most part, like I said, it's been blah.
Well, listen, I would have given it a 7.5 if when Echo's dad died, if instead of reaching up for her face to touch her or whatever, he reached out and grabbed her titty. That would have been dope.
See, this show has so many homages to that Matt Fraction comic, and that's what I love most about it.
Look at Andrew's face. Look at Andrew's face during that. Oh my God. I'm telling you, I'm sorry I had to play that, Cyber. Alan was tripping on Andrew the other night. He was in love with Andrew.
What were y'all talking about?
Oh, you didn't see that video?
What video?
The one I just played?
Yeah, I saw it, but what were you talking about?
Oh, we were talking about the Hawkeye Disney Plus series and Echo.
Oh, okay. No. Oh, okay. Well, so.
No, our topic on Sunday, I think, actually, still, I think this weekend, Renee, it's still Echo. We're talking about how her wonderful acting in the series at that point and whatnot.
We're doing it. We're reviewing Echo. I mean, or we're doing a preview of Echo.
Yes, we're going to wrap up Echo and talk about. Yeah, remember, and connect it and into how it's going to fit into Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah, I may go back and look at Hawkeye again, so I can just rewatch her and reassess her talents.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, maybe you can screenshot some of her best scowls
between her and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
What a great actor.
Hey, I'm optimistic about Echo. I think it could be good. I do. I'm not bullshitting. I think it can actually be solid. Just because she didn't do so hot in Hawkeye doesn't mean she can't be good in her series.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, they can work with her, get her an acting coach, get her up to speed.
No, I rewatched some of her action scenes. I did. From the series, she actually wasn't bad in the fighting scenes, and whatnot, and everything she did. I thought she was pretty good.
Well, I mean, yeah, she's great in that, but she's going to have. I think it's a little thing that it kind of in Shang-Chi. I've had the same feeling. Those two characters, they didn't have any charisma. I think the main character, they really, and I've said this before, they really need to pay attention to who they cast into these films and these TV shows, but particularly the films, because you got to hook the audience, and the actor and actress, they're going to be the people that's going to do it. They're if the actors can't hook you, the story's not. So yeah. Like I say, nothing against the young actress who plays the part. I mean, absolutely at all. I just think she's just new and just needs to, learn her craft, and I'm sure she will.
And that would be Alakwa Cox, I believe, that plays that character. Cyber, my friend, if you could help assist me, and Renee, what I was asking you about before was about Cassie Lang. And this is just something that I think that that we should cover quick and whatnot and everything. That's important is the fact that Cassie's very prominent in the film throughout the trailers, especially in the trailer that Cyber gave me to play.
Okay, I misunderstood you because I was doing something else. I thought you were talking about Janet, the Michelle Pfeiffer character.
No, and I'm going to play it again and whatnot and everything. And I was just wondering if you and Cyber could jump in and just kind of talk about the impact of the secondary characters like the Wasp. Like even though we don't hear much, what her role could be in the film, and then what we, how important Cassie seems to be, how pivotal a character she seems to be during the film, as she's grouped with Scott throughout the whole movie, basically. When they separate into the quantum realm, they separate into two groups.
So you've been studying the quantum realm. Why didn't you ask me about it?
Tried, Mom. You never wanted to talk about it.
You know how dangerous the quantum realm is. Turn it off. Now!
Oh, what if freaking Hope's started the machine with her?
Where are we?
You come from above, like him. He will burn the world to find you.
Who?
The Conqueror.
Oh, an interesting man.
Kang the Conqueror.
Scott Lang. I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want. What's that? Time. This place, it isn't what you think. It's a cage. Though we can help each other. Your reality. Everything you're holding on to, I know how it ends. You want to get out of here. And I need to get out of here. Bring me what I want.
Scott, you cannot trust him. He's a monster.
He can give us a second chance.
This place, it changes you.
You have a chance.
I wanted to stop at this for a minute because when he says that he can give us a second chance, I think what he actually must mean, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Cyber Renee, I think what he's saying is that he could actually potentially have the ability to get rid of everything that happened with Thanos and reset everything way back.
That's true. Yeah.
Cyber, do you think that's permissible?
Say that again.
Do you think it's possible that when Kang says that when to Scott, and Scott says, we can go back, and all that and everything and whatnot, it's possible that since Kang can rewrite reality, right? And especially if he's given whatever it is that he wants Scott to get for him, do you think it's possible that that Scott sees this as an opportunity? The agreement might be that Kang will actually get rid of everything that Thanos all that never even occurred, right? And reset it back to before that. So there was no blip.
Kang could do that. It's very possible that's what he could mean. Even before Thanos gets the Infinity Stones, he could probably have stopped him. It's all very possible. 100% do I think it's that? I'm not 100% sure, but it could be.
But the only reason I mentioned this is because I don't think that some people realize that literally how interesting of a villain Kang really can be. He really he's very different than Thanos, we'll see it more of it when we actually see more of his variants. But he actually is a really interesting character. What his actual goals are.
To be the hero.
What are you so afraid of?
I will take my revenge on those who banished me. And I will burn them out of time.
And when he says those who banished me, I believe he's talking about he who remains.
We had a deal. I don't care who this guy is. We're gonna go.
Ooh.
I'm coming for you. I don't care what he can do. He's not getting out. You think you can beat?
And see, Cyber, do you think when he says that right there, I think that's the point in the film where, like, literally Ant-Man comes to the conclusion that Michelle Pfeiffer's right and that he can't allow Kang to get to, like, out of the quantum realm.
What's the question?
I think that when there's that point in the movie, you see it where he turns, where Ant-Man comes to, where he really becomes a hero, an Avenger, really, for the first time, kind of, right? And where his self-sacrifice kicks in because he comes to the realization that no matter what, he can't let this Kang out of the quantum realm. He's dangerous.
So you're saying you think that he's becoming Avenger for the first time in Ant-Man 3?
No, I think that he's becoming a real hero. Like his self-sacrifice in him kicks in at some point in the film to where he no longer cares about anymore about the time back with Cassie or any of that. And it becomes more pressing to him to save the world. He sees the
Scott was thrown into being an Avenger. You know, he didn't choose any of this. He didn't choose to become Ant-Man, and he didn't choose to become an Avenger.
A true Avenger.
But what you're saying now, he will fulfill. He will actually feel himself choosing to be an Avenger at this point. He wants to be an Avenger.
Yeah, because if you think about it, the Avengers, the whole original Avengers are inspired by the Captain America type ethos of being an Avenger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah, and he can draw on that type of their spirit, their ethos that he learned from them.
Does that make sense, Cyber?
Honestly, I think he's been a hero this whole time.
No,
he's been an anti-hero. No, he's been an anti-hero this whole time. He'll start being a hero after this.
I think he's been a hero the whole time. Even if he's thought of as an anti-hero, I see him as a hero the whole time.
I've always seen him as a hero too. I just don't think that he ever was willing to make that self-sacrifice.
Right. He's reluctant.
I mean, in the first two films, he sacrificed himself to win. So, and in Avengers Endgame. So I think it's always been there. And now, if you're saying that you think that it's full scale that he's come to realization, then maybe, yeah. But I think that it's always been there. It'll just be more prominent in this film because he has to make this, judgment because he's getting something that he wants.
Yeah, I think that is what he's saying. That Scott Lang is the anti-hero or whatever you want to call him, and I'm speaking in genre tropes here. He is the classic reluctant hero.
Yes.
He like to say he's the guy he's Clint Eastwood who comes from all the desert and suddenly he's in the middle of this town and he has to take care of it and then he moves on. That sort of ethos. But at this point that will change for him. He will be no longer a reluctant hero. He will be a dedicated hero.
No, yeah, and that's my point. I think Cyber, you're right. He's always been well-intentioned.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's always been about good, and even as a thief, he never wanted to hurt anyone, and he would always protect people and defend people and things like that. That was always a part of who he was, right? But no, I guess all I meant was just that I feel like this is his individual spotlight. It's his film, and it's his moment to really step up in this film, and step up to that, like y'all were talking about in the beginning of the show, becoming that kind of fixture Avenger. Maybe we might need in the future for Avengers 5 and 6 to take on more of a leadership role, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Sure.
I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I mean. Just that I think that this is development for him.
That's
right?
why we think he's not going to. That's why he's not going to die at the end of this film.
Yeah, he's not going to die. You're right. It makes no sense. They have to keep some of these. He's not an original 6 Avenger, but he's been with the MCU since almost like day one, in a way. What, phase 2?
I mean, he's an important connective tissue to the past films.
First Ant-Man film was 2015.
There you go. Yeah, so I mean, they're all important, all of them. I mean, it's like the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? That we're going to do our trailer reaction here, briefly. These are what we have left from the old MCU. But no, what I wanted to ask you, I guess, and here, let's play the rest of the trailer. I can find it really quick. There it is. Hold on.
I hear your old television in the background. The big tube model. Does anybody still have those old TVs? I think they're all gone now.
What'd you say, Renee?
I was just asking, does anybody still have those old tube model televisions now? I was just wondering.
Poor
there
people,
for a
probably.
while, there for a couple of years, you would just like go. Every time you go up down the street, you'd see an old TV setting out, where they were traded to bin for the flat models.
Yeah, no, tube TVs are very rare in between. I mean, you'll find them at thrift stores and yard sales and stuff like that.
Tyrone Biggins might have one.
Probably.
It's possible. He might have jacked it from somebody at one point, thinking that it would be worth money for crack. And
yeah, you know what's kind of sometimes when you look at like the movie Alien, the original Alien, and you look how the ships and their screens were those cathode ray tube screens, like it's always funny when you go back and look at, even though it's still a great film, very enjoyable, but it's those little things just kind of pop out at you.
Hey, I don't know.
They wouldn't have flat, those screens in the future.
No, we reviewed Alien with Joey, and I thought Cyber and I think we both agreed that we thought that the way they did the ship in that first film was excellent.
Oh yeah, I mean at the time, and I saw it when it first came out. At the time, it was state of the art looking. I mean that's what, they all, that's what the future looks like. But then when 30 years down the road, and then you look at it, you can see it's kind of like Star Trek. It was these great things. The tricorders were these great devices that we will have 300 or 400 years from now. Well, no, we've got them right now, and they're called iPhones and cell phones.
Cyber's got one right there next to him.
Yep.
Yeah,
a real tricorder.
No, Captain Picard himself was the one that gave Cyber his microphone.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yes, Patrick Stewart personally gave it to me.
Yep, through time travel to the quantum realm with Kang. He came through and whatnot, everything.
Number one.
Yep.
Engage.
Yep, that's right. Alan was blown away. Alan came in the studio the other day and he saw Cyber's microphone and he was like blown away. He was like a little kid with that shit. He was like, wow, that's spiffy.
He takes his tea Earl Grey.
That's right. No, but what I wanted to ask you though was just basically Cassie, Cyber, and then you, Renee.
Oh, now I'm a girl. I see how it is.
So I think that they do a good job of portraying the story of these trailers. We have a good idea what's going to happen in the film, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And Cyber, you did a great job of explaining how MODOK's going to be, his whole deal, the fact that he is going to be, Darren Cross,
mm-hmm.
From the first Ant-Man film and whatnot, which is great that they decided to do that and bring him back. And I watched that scene you talked about where where Ant-Man does throw the little ring at him. And it makes him shrink down into the quantum realm. I know what you're talking about now. I saw that. No, but so that's interesting twist. They did that with MODOK, and I hope MODOK comes out of this, and they get him up into Earth somehow. That would be dope. But Cassie, she's not going to be Stature. She's going to be Stinger, I guess, in the film. That's what the outfit. How she gets the outfit, I have no idea. But it's the color of Stinger from the comics, not Stature. When she's Stature, she's this Giant Man. Basically, she's a version of Giant Man. Stinger, I think, is different. She's more like the Wasp. You see her use her powers in the film when she's with Scott, and she's an important character because she's the whole premise of the agreement that he makes with Kang, right?
Yeah, and she seems to have been adopted by the Pyms. and Hope Van Dyne. You know, because in the beginning, we see Hope had taught Cassie all these things and whatnot. So they've developed a friendship or a rapport, you know, between each other. You know, sort of like a substitute grandmother or something like that.
Well, you gotta remember, we don't know what time this movie starts from until we watch it. We're not going to know how far away from Endgame this occurs.
Yeah.
Right.
There was one thing though that I wanted to touch back on. You said that now Kang, he says it in the first person present that he is imprisoned and he wants to get revenge on he who imprisoned him in there. So that tells me that he thinks that he who is alive, what's his name? He who remains is still alive. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, of course, nobody would know that he would. There'd be no way that anybody would know that he was dead, really, other than Sylvie and Loki. They're the only
right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, how is that idea or notion going to play out within the and tie into since he does mention he who remains ties into the Loki series.
Well, no, and I've mentioned before in the past there could be another Kang or two in this movie. We don't know that. It might not even be he who remains. There might be another Kang out there trying to get him.
Okay,
and then he might be hiding. I think he's hiding down there.
Well, he seems like he's imprisoned.
He is.
Well, if I remember correctly from the Loki series, that when Jonathan Majors was first introduced as He Who Remains, he says that if you kill me, all the other Kangs will come out to play. He says that. He basically says that his other Kangs will come out. So hence that would mean that this Kang that's probably in the quantum realm is one of those Kangs that has now the opportunity to get free. And maybe this is kind of like this is the Kang he was mentioning that's a lot worse than him, that this is the one you don't want to mess with. And I have a feeling that's what this Kang is. And that's, the reason why he's down the quantum realm is, one, he's hiding, but two, I think he's been put there. I really do. I think he's being trapped there somehow, even though he went there freely to begin with, but I think he was stopped from getting out of there, and he needs Ant-Man to allow him to get out. And as we keep talking about.
And I'm going to play this trailer, and this is what I was talking about, and this is what I think it is that he needs Scott to get.
I used to ask myself a lot of questions. Scott, you're at ex-con. How are you?
We don't see the film.
What the hell?
Everywhere I go, people tell me the same thing.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
People still need help, Dad.
That's why we made this. It's like a satellite for deep space, but quanta.
Wait a minute. You're sending a signal down to the quantum realm. Turn it off. Now!
Did you see how the Wasp's face says she didn't seem surprised? At all?
It's a secret universe beneath ours. What are you so afraid of?
Regrets.
I never told you.
There it is. That's it. That right there, folks, is, I believe.
Yeah, you can see the designs of the circular pattern in that orb.
Yes. Now, what I believe this is right here, okay, from the comics, I believe this is the Forever Crystal. This is the Forever Crystal. What the Forever Crystal is, okay, is it's essentially has the ability to, what Michelle Pfeiffer says, to create and change reality or rewrite reality. That's what it does. It's how you could use it to delete a reality or restore a reality, right? Now, this is where Ravonna Renslayer plays into this whole deal. We know from the comics that Kang, that's Kang's love interest in the comics, is Ravonna Renslayer. When she dies at one point, multiple Kangs, they stop worrying about conquering. All they care about is trying to bring back Ravonna Renslayer in some way alive. Now, essentially, what I think is possible is that when Ravonna Renslayer in the finale left and said, "I'm going to find free will," she was going out to find Kang. Whatever actual Kang was out there that Miss Minutes was messing with. And event altogether, he could want he could be trapped for multiple reasons, but the Forever Crystal would be the key, right? To, for one thing, recreating his reality. If He Who Remains had destroyed it or deleted it, he might be trapped in that quantum realm because it's the only space that he can live in where he exists, if that makes sense. If he leaves it, he'll just disappear. He'll dissolve like Thanos at the end of the Endgame. Right? And he needs that Forever Crystal. And for Ant-Man to get that through that contraption, through those circles and shit and whatnot, where you see all of them climbing off each other, those variants of Ant-Man, he needs him to get that for the Forever Crystal or some key to it. So that he can actually be able to actually leave that city and that bubble and exist and then conquer and then go back to conquering and doing what he fucking wants. You can see him becoming more aggressive and fucking violent and shit towards as the trailers go forward. And he betrays Scott. So all I'm saying is essentially I believe that his reality was destroyed in the multiversal Kang War. And he somehow survived. He got away. And this is where he's been ever since. He's been stuck there. Almost like He Who Remains. He's been stuck there for that long, Renee. For like centuries. So who knows how extensive the city is. The civilization is. But either way, he needs Scott in order to attain these crystals, the Forever Crystals. And I think that's what that is. And the scene with the door and the hieroglyphs and everything and whatnot has something to do with it, to getting to those rigs and that, wherever you find the key to it. That's what I was trying to point out and whatnot.
Okay.
That's all. That's the deal. That was my point. And somehow I believe that this deal here are links to those crystals.
This place. It isn't what you think. I can get you home. And give you more time. If you help me. So, what's it gonna be? Ant-Man.
Yeah. It's interesting how you see his character and his personality kind of change from trailer to trailer. I think that he's basically manipulates him and lies to Scott as to what he really wants, what his goal is, and why he's trapped there. It misportrays himself. Right? And it's Michelle and Pfeiffer and the Wasp and everything and whatnot and everything. They're the ones that are able to convince him what Kang's really about. But Cyber, would you agree that at this point we get a pretty clear glimpse of what the story really is about at this point? It is really about Cassie and Scott's relationship. And the fact that Scott feels responsible for whatever the hell happened with Cassie while he was gone.
I mean, that's 100% obvious.
Yes.
I mean, from the teaser trailer, you could tell it was a father-daughter relationship story.
Yes. That's right. And now the only reason why I have brought up, I never thought he was going to die either. But in the comics, she only becomes a superhero because he does die. That's why she becomes Stature in the comics. It's because of for the memory of his death. But basically, so when he says, I've also lost time, Renee, he's talking about the fact that he's been trapped in there ever since that multiversal Kang War ended. So he's basically like he who remains, except not crazy. Yes, sir, Cyber. I'm with you, sir. And Cyber, you with your Captain America hat on, you actually almost come off like you're an officer. You know, like you're yes, like you're an admiral.
Like you just stepped, the admiral on the bridge.
Yes.
Admiral, that's Harry Carey, I think. You know, like
Harry Carey. And then
Admiral.
Hey. That also connects to Captain Picard too, and your microphone. There you go.
Yeah, Captain Picard.
Maybe Cyber.
Well, that's more than Sean Connery.
Maybe Cyber got his microphone from the
a little bit.
Sean Connery.
There you go. That's what we need. That's what we need. That's what we need. We need the Highlander in the next Wakanda movie. That's the next Black Panther movie.
Highlander. Oh, okay, Highlander.
If they even make another one, if there is a third Black Panther movie, I don't know if I want one or not. I'll be honest with you. But anyways, folks. So, all right. What do you think, Renee? What do you think is fair? Obviously, we can't do a pre-rating for the movie, but we're all going to see it, right? We're all going to see it on Thursday. Cyber, I can't remember. You know how my freaking memory is. Did we already try to pick? Did we already try to speculate a date when we thought we might be able to pull a review off?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
We have talked like, oh, we need to think of it, like when, because we are seeing it, on time, but we didn't set a date.
Are we all going on Thursday? You're going on Thursday. I'm going on Thursday.
Yep, I'm going Thursday.
You're going Thursday.
The matinee, 4:00.
There you go. Yep. And of course, my stupid ass is going to the. Of course, Cyber already knows. Of course, the 1040 or whatever. I think I'm going to, because I'm that smart. I'm that logical. I'm TrueKnowledge. So.
Well, you'll be in there with a good crowd. I mean, that's when it's more raucous and more fun. I'm in there with the senior citizens, and we're just munching popcorn.
Sweetie, the theater will be so populated at that point at my local theater during Marvel movies that I could probably just masturbate during the film, but nobody.
Oh God Almighty! Tell me what theater you're going to.
See now, if that was Paul Rudd saying this, she'd be all down for it.
Yeah.
Would I? Let me think
I don't know about that.
I don't know. He always.
Okay, think whoever you find sexy as hell. Think of them that they said that comment.
All right. So do a Tom Hiddleston accent, Cyber.
See.
Cyber does not do a good British accent or whatever. I don't think.
I don't remember. What did you say?
What
about you were going to masturbate in the theater? I'm just going to masturbate in the theater.
Well, there you go. No, I should say that probably it's possible that the Ant-Man's penis might be the same size as mine, so that probably wouldn't be.
A British accent would be like this.
There you go.
Like that. Tea and crumpets out there.
There you go. See?
I might go and masturbate in the theater.
I think everything you do is good, Cyber. I honestly, I never used to be able to do accents.
Hello.
I've never been good at them at all. And now I can't do them at all. I can't even try. So no, I'm not even going to try. But no. So
tell me, darling, how was your masturbation in the theater?
No,
it went very well. It was quite a spectacle.
I dare say.
Anytime I've ever gone to any Marvel movie at my local theater here in Port Charlotte, Florida, the only time I've ever seen anybody in the theater more than 5 people and me was Spider-Man 3. That was it. Other than that, every other single Marvel movie I've seen, all of them. The most I've ever seen in one setting was 5 people with me. When we saw Black Widow for the first time after COVID, it was me and my sister, and there was nobody else in the theater but us. There you go. It was fabulous. Interesting feeling for the first time in my life. So anyways, but no, so I don't know it'll be interesting. I'll let you guys know how the turnout is. Hopefully it'll be great. I hope it is. I'm not going to the 1040. I'm going to like the 840 or whatever. But no, we're all going on Thursday. Why don't let me see who I can get together, right? And then is there a certain night that you guys, we're already doing a lot this week. Is there a certain night that you guys want to try to? We have Wednesday. We have Last of Us. So, but then we have Friday free.
Well, you can do Sunday afternoon. I mean, the Sunday show.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. We could use the Sunday show.
That would be the perfect spot.
Hey, what do you think about that, Cyber?
We can do that.
We'll do that. We'll. I mean, Echo is very important, but
it can wait. It can wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Echo really isn't that important, especially because it's been pushed back to next year, pretty much. So
yeah,
you're probably not going to see it until next year, anyways.
Yeah, it's more inside that the Daredevil world. I think that's going to be more of a tangential saga that's going to run alongside the main one. So yeah, I think she belongs more over there. We probably won't see her too much going forward for right now.
That was a good move on their part to tie her series into Daredevil series. That was a really good move. That should benefit her, if anything, you'd think. But either way, though, folks. So I guess at that point, then that'll be it. Then I don't know what time. 7 p.m. You guys think that we usually go?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So there you go, folks. 7 p.m. this Sunday. What is that? 2. What? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 2/19.
It's the 19th.
2/19, we'll be doing our Ant-Man review, and it'll be the quickest review after a Marvel movie release we've ever done in the history of Marvel, in the history of the MCU, and the MCU's bleeding edge, and true knowledge. Anyways, so I hope everybody enjoyed the review, the preview. I hope you enjoy our review. You should definitely come back and watch us. If you caught us doing this, you should come watch us and see what you think. See if our opinions have changed, and we end up with some Love and Thunder, Wakanda Forever type attitudes or dispositions as a reflection of our experience.
I want to thank Darius for being in the comments section tonight as well.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Darius.
Most definitely, Darius. Most definitely. And Cyber, I think
the gentleman I insulted, I apologize to you, sir. What was his name?
Brett. He's a big boy.
I couldn't help it. It was you. He set it up for me.
No, but we appreciate you, Brett. We do. But Cyber, you're the only one I think that really has anything to plug really individually. So let me pull you up real quick and whatnot, everything, so we get the hell out of here.
All right, Seth.
We can do our reaction to Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Oh, by the way, Cyberneticshark, how have you been doing with the algorithm on YouTube lately? When you've pulled yourself up, when you've searched yourself and whatnot, has it improved?
I really haven't noticed a difference.
Okay.
I feel it's been the same. I mean, if you type in Cyberneticshark, I pop right up.
How far into the word?
Cyber.
Okay. That's what I look at.
So you see I'm at 552 now, people. Thank you. All those.
Oh, congratulations.
So halfway to 600. So thank you guys. I've been doing.
Cyber, that's almost 10 subs since the last time we did a show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been doing M. Night Shyamalan shorts recently, the last couple days, especially since I saw Knack of the Cabin this past Friday, which that review will be up soon. I've been doing all the M. Night Shyamalan films mini reviews under my shorts if you look at that. But as always, people, if you enjoy me here on the MCU Planet, definitely check out my solo content under Cyberneticshark. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, TikToks, Rizzle. You can pretty much find me everywhere. And I've been doing those little shorts there. As you can see there, I did all 3 of the Unbreakables. Last Airbender, The Lady in the Water, The Happening, Signs, Sixth Sense, as you can see there. So I'll be doing the rest of his filmography in the upcoming shorts and then future stuff. But yeah, if you enjoy me here, definitely go check it out. Sub. Let's get me up to that magic 750 spot.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I never saw Glass.
Good movie.
Or Split, but Unbreakable was great.
Yeah, he does. M. Night Shyamalan's sort of underrated. He does his own thing. I don't think they realize what he's doing. Yeah, he's really good. He's really good.
Lady of the Water is really good too.
Mm-hmm.
And Signs is great. I just think that unfortunately, just because Mel Gibson was kind of tainted at that point a little bit, I think that's kind of fucked it up a little bit for him.
Yeah, I didn't really. No, I didn't. It didn't. I thought it was Signs. I think Signs is probably one of his best. Aside from the first one, what was the God? What was the first one? I can't remember the name. But anyway, I think that one, and then with Bruce Willis, and then the second one was Signs, or the other movie was Signs. I think those are his two best movies. I really liked it. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix was just great, and the whole cast, the little kids, and did really well. Really good job with it, and eerie and.
Cyber, do you want to tackle this really quick with Darius before we head out?
Sure. So Darius is curious as why we think Wakanda Forever is garbage. Yeah, I do realize that, you know, the entire cast, the whole world lost Chadwick Boseman because he was a fantastic actor.
Yeah, for real, dude. What about who cares about that? I was about to say, Darius, what about us?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But anyways, Darius, we think it's garbage simply the fact that it just was not up to par to the first Black Panther. The whole idea behind it was interesting, but unfortunately, because of the rewrites, because they had to change it out because Chadwick's untimely passing, you know, and then bringing Suri in, and you know, Letitia Wright's an okay actress; she's not bad, but her trying to lead that film just didn't work very well, and there was several things in it that, you know, that just did not fit well. Like we keep mentioning the Power Rangers and the Predator, how they looked, the Dori Majai and those outfits, and just like how Ironheart looked. It just looked really dumb. And so that's, you know, one of the reasons why we think it's garbage.
Yeah, Darius, man, look, what do you want us to say, man? Like over here at the Bleeding Edge, it's very simple. It's just like what I negotiate with platforms like Restream, right? Either you work or you don't. At that point, if you don't fucking work, well, then we don't work with you. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? As far as I'm concerned, we all know, come on, man, we're all human beings. You're right. As human beings, that's why I find things like Black Lives Matter, that concept itself, insulting to me. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, of course, we'd all know that they all lost a friend. We lost a goddamn friend. T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman was one of my heroes. All right, as a man, he's a male hero of mine. Okay,
opinions are opinions.
Yep, he's one of my heroes. Whether my fucking skin color is white, yellow, or green, or whatever. And at the end of the day, you know, I wasn't his friend. I didn't know him, but I'd like to think that if I ever did meet him or whatnot, we would have been friends too. Me and Chadwick, you know what I'm saying? Because he was a good man.
And that's fine it's fine to disagree, Darius. That's fine. Everyone has their own opinion. It's all good. If you liked it, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. We just don't agree.
Yeah, I as speaking to it, as far as I think maybe calling it garbage is a little harsh. I think Jeff brings out the point that the movie suffered because of Chadwick Boseman's death, and I don't know how much money they had into that movie. They probably should have just shelved the whole idea and then rethought it and brought the Panther character back a little bit later. But you know, the engine was already, that's a huge juggernaut out there to stop it. So it is what it is. I just saw it as a mediocre film, subpar. They did a disservice to the original Black Panther. So yeah, and to Chadwick Boseman's memory.
Thank you, Simon.
Yeah, so for that, yeah. But
thank you, Renee.
No, all right. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and if you love the movie, hey, great, fine.
Darius, we love you. That's all that matters. And Cyber and Renee spoke for me, and they made all my points right there. That was all I wanted to say. Was they said it better than I would have said it. I get passionate about it just like you do, but we all have opinions and we all care about that on the Bleeding Edge. We do. And we all love and respect Chadwick and God rest his soul and whatnot and everything, that we all agree on that. But without him, it just wasn't the same movie. And Renee's right. I was wrong. They should have recast them. They should have recast Black Panther. Letitia Wright was never meant to be cast to be the Black Panther. But anyways, either way, we love you, Darius. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the comment section. Thank you for bringing up this conversation. Just a bad timing, unfortunately. We don't have time for it right now. But either way, no, we appreciate you, man. Thank you. But no, you missed it in the beginning of the show, man. Cyber was hyping the first Black Panther film all day. Talk about how much he loved the first one compared to the second one. So we love the Black.
Yeah, yeah, we all like the first one. You know, great movie.
Yeah, no. Let me ask you a question, Darius. Do you love Ironheart? Anyways, if you do, good for you, brother. I respect that opinion too. But all right, folks, listen, we'll see you for Wednesday. Last of Us. episode 5 review. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Wow, we only got 4 more episodes of The Last of Us, so you better make sure you come over. Check us out live, 9:35 p.m. Eastern, 6:35 p.m. Pacific. So you can watch us do episode 5 review. And then on Friday night, we're doing DC, baby. Gun. Right? And the slate. And we're breaking it down. We're getting after it.
You'll have to play the Peter Gunn theme song for your gun review.
Uh-oh.
You didn't like that. You didn't like that suggestion.
No. Oh, they got T'Challa Jr. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Hey, you know what? If they want to do that, that's fine with me. As long as it's not freaking Letitia Wright again. Anyways, folks, in the spirit of whatever that was they called Namor and Wakanda forever, Watutu or whatever, in the spirit of Watutu, we will see you on Wednesday.
Are going to take off.
Some of them going to bomb.
Just like they've bombed in the comics.
What about this guy? You think this guy can make it for the Avengers?
Diamond Days, a ninja teaching flicks. Honey, let me see the sign there, honey. Come on in here, ninja. Here's my ninja. Diamond Days Ninja School. Come on down. What we're going to teach you, hold that, Lord. What we're going to teach you in our first episode is a proper stance and a proper kung fu. And you got your Judy chop, all right? You got your karate chop, and you got your ninja chop. Now, what smart thing to do is like when you use a judo chopping, you gotta say it, you know, for you beginners, you know, like a Judy chop. Because what you don't want to do is like be a Judy chopping and a kung fu kicking, and there goes your leg. You know, there ain't much hauling for a one-legged ninja out there. Right there, hard as a rock, but let me show you something. I don't have last time, baby. Don't put it in front of your face. I don't want to hurt you. But you got me? Now, what we're going to do here, we're going to work on the ninja chop. So what we're going to do. You go a ninja chop. Well, now see, now sometimes it don't always work for a ninja. You know, but it practice makes it perfect. Don't go ninja nobody. Don't need ninja. Alrighty? Now, them things there, if I was put them in my pockets, they'd get me for concealment of a deadly weapons. It says you got your son fella coming at you out in the trailer park. Regular cannon you say? No, says I. Watch this, people. Yeah, we just rolling through the trailer park. What's that? Ninja stars! Right there. That son fella jumps up behind a trailer on you. You know, you got to put them on out yonder like that.